You're tuned in to The Chat right here on City TV. The show is proudly brought to you by Good Day Energy Drink. Keeps you going. Special thanks to Fabulosity for my outfit. Now getting into the second part of the conversation, and that is on the trending issues that the celebrities have been speaking about, that the entire country has been speaking about, and I think no issue has been bigger than the Ejura incident. Now, joining me to discuss this conversation are, of course, my first set. Joining me into the second set, the wonderful Chris Carter, Kwame Dazi, and Coca. Now, I'd love to know from everyone your opinions as you saw the issues that unfolded, especially with how the Fix the Country demonstration has sort of evolved into a full-on movement that has now attracted this different branch, so quote unquote, with the killing of Ibrahim Mohammed, into how the entire issue has unfolded. Quite a lot of celebrities were speaking about it this week, but let me start from you, Coca. Your opinion as this issue unfolded this week.
As I'll say, it's very unfortunate we've gotten to this point, but everybody has a right to voice out their opinion or their sentiment about the growth of their environment, the economic ambience that is being created, security and everything. But also, as much as we have an opinion, we also need to understand the environment we live in. Your power to comment or to run commentary can make somebody very unpopular or can incite other people against an environment. Notwithstanding that, COVID had changed the new normal of our lives.
Right.
So job and other things are not available. So if you're commenting on something, you should be mindful the people you are charging. And I can tell you a lot of times, just as Shatta Wale said, the disappointed educators on social media. We don't find something to do, but we think because we are opinion leaders or influencers, we lead people, and gradually social media is turning our society apart.
Really?
It is the biggest thing that will cause us harm because we don't even have control over it.
You think the problem is social media?
Because a lot of times we don't appreciate to comment.
Okay.
We comment before we get the entirety of what we are talking about.
Right.
Then you see the person is lost in the conversation. Face Ghana, the main people who started the agenda are not the people who are leading it now.
Yes, it's taking a whole new life of its own.
Yes. And we think by going to stand in a portal or by going to stand in a gutter, start it from your neighborhood. Engage your assemblyman, engage your DCE, get it. But we think everything has to be the president. We don't get results from that way. Engage people, get to appreciate them, get your people also to understand, and bring two parties so that it becomes a single lane. This is where we all want to go. But don't let somebody who is also trying to survive on his job, his family and other people feel you are getting them out of the job. And that is how our campaigns have become now. It's more become personal and more become, it is you. But it's a system we need to fix. It is not individuals. Okay. When we fix the system, the bad nuts will fall out.
But the system is led by individuals.
Yes, but when you, so I come here to the hotel, I know where to go, pay and get my room. If I meet somebody who says he can give me a room and I give the person, am I responding to the system or am I responding to an individual?
Right.
We need to deal with the system. When we deal with the system, it will point out the bad nuts for us to push away. But we think, oh, I've heard Kwame Dazi said this, so I just go on social media and rant and because people have data, then you're going, and if you, oh, then I'm doing well, then tomorrow I pick another person. But that is not the solution.
Agreed. But with the origins on how this incident truly happened, well, it started off with the killing of Ibrahim Mohammed, how, if he was truly linked to Fix the Country or he was just a social activist, that is still up for debate. Yeah. However, we all saw as the military sort of came in to quell the civilian demonstration, and they shot live bullets into a crowd, of which 2 people died. We saw the videos. Everyone reacted based on the videos that we saw.
It is the lowest moment for us as a country.
Yes.
That we give people training, the state's money is given to people. So we even need to look at how we now recruit people into the military.
Understandable.
2, social media has gotten a lot of people peeved. So people are not using their head, they are using their emotions in solving problems.
Okay.
Look at the guy who knelt as if he has seen an antelope he was going to shoot.
Yes, of which we saw live on that video.
This person should mentally be sacked from the military. We don't need such people. Look at what happened in Wa, because it has gotten to a point that people feel you think you have social media. I also have this. We should move away from there. Anything that is a disaster, anything that will cause fear and panic has to be deleted in the system. When we get rid of them, the next person knows, I stand losing my job, so I shouldn't do this.
Well,
people were brought to rather calm things, rather worsen the thing.
And that is the point I think a lot of celebrities came in to start tweeting about, which sort of generated a whole lot of discussions on social media. But before we get into the tweets and everything that was said, I think it's only right that we call in our incredible barman to bring us some drinks. So as earlier stated, our drink for today is titled Sweet Drops of Adunde, in honor of our celebrity guest that will be joining us in the 3rd segment of the show, Abiana. And this fabulous drink is made from elderly flower syrup, lemon juice, and of course, the secret ingredient that makes every cocktail incredible, Good Day Energy Drink. Now, thank you very much for that. And getting back into the conversation and getting into the tweets. So, a lot of celebrities were tweeting about it, and Theodore tweeted about this particular one, and we had a lot of conversation based on that. And what she said was, your fans are dying and you're quiet. Your fans are suffering and you're mute. Let's see who's going to come and beg for support again. Selfish bunch of people. In relation to some of the celebrities that were initially not speaking enough. Amake Ababresa says, this picture speaks volumes. It's a very sad day for the country, Ghana. Protests shouldn't end like this. Waiting to see if the government will come and justify this. I've seen comparisons that this has happened before under different precedents, like it's some sort of justification. Another tweet from Juliet Ibrahim said, so sad waking up to news of what happened in the Ejura, #Ejura protest. Oh, Ghana, this is not us. We can do better. Please, Mr. President, let all those guilty for this inhumane act be brought to book. Insecurities in Ghana have never been a topic of discussion till lately. #You can do better, which was a hashtag that was started off by Shatta Wale, and we'll get to that point. But Kweko Sintimita, veteran comedian and media personality, says, with intelligence, you diffuse crisis. With unintelligence, you inflame crisis. Our men in uniform have made a wrong choice. Another message or tweet coming in, which sort of was a different opinion altogether. Shatta Wale. So Shatta Wale started off with, it's not Fix the Country, it's #You can do better, to encourage them to be rapid in their doings. Whoever started this fix thing, dear, why? You won't bring war, because Twitter people can fight on the streets, so we're all suffering, my guy. Ghana no easy, but let's respect the peace. And that led into a series of tweets that he put out himself and led him to sort of voice a completely different opinion that many were sharing on social media. So a lot of people were very active about, you know what, this ties into Fix the Country and we really need to fix the system. But Shatta Wale said, no, the hashtag is you can do better. It sort of gave that UGCC campaign feel, freedom in the shortest possible time instead of freedom now. It's more like you can do better. Let's do it for them to be rapid in their change of the system, not hashtag Fix the Country. But Kwame, let me come to your thoughts about the tweets and commentary from social media from the celebrities and as well some of the different opinions that were flying throughout the week.
Well, let me shout out the celebrities that joined this campaign, if you like. It was right that they spoke about it because when George Floyd's incident happened, almost all of them spoke about it. And SARS.
Yes.
Even Wale did a whole song
yes.
for that. And so I was expecting them to do that. And so from the Amake Abebreses and all those people who tweeted, it was the right thing they did. And we need to also send our sympathies to the families of the people who lost their lives at Ejura.
Absolutely.
Because it isn't something that anybody will wish for themselves.
No.
We don't need to entertain this at all in this country. And that is why I am for everybody, anybody who would speak against this. However, I believe we live in a country where everybody is entitled to their opinion, so we should be ready to welcome dissenting opinions. Shatta did something. And as much as for a long time we've seen him as somebody who is inconsistent, I believe that he's been consistently inconsistent. And that defines who he is.
Consistently
so
inconsistent.
most times when he puts out stuff on social media that are contradictory, I don't get bothered because I know this is Shatta.
Okay.
And there is a reason he does that. Because at a point in time, he wrote on Facebook that everybody's talking about me.
Wow.
And he was happy. Yeah, so Wale is somebody who would always want to get people's attention, especially when he sees that somebody is stealing all the attention.
Yeah.
VGMA is in there, other people being talked about. So let them talk about me as well. Now, when I went through most of his posts, I decided to sit back and think about something. So I assumed that if I lived at Ejura and then whatever happened again, would I advise a brother of mine, my sister, a friend of mine, to even join a group of people when they are gathered to express their displeasure about a certain situation? Would I tell them, Charlie, go ahead, or I would say, Charlie, Tenefie? When I went through Wale's posts, I realized that he was advising people not to be so much interested in fighting wars, quote unquote, that may claim their lives.
Yeah.
Yes.
However, he did contradict in the beginning, in the early days of it, by going that
I get you.
Ghana youth are problem
Because
if you don't go
his
out.
very initial post was like, you are always on social media.
We're talking about exactly, and when they decide to rise up, then it's
But I am rather trying to sift his comments and pick out the ones that I think would serve as advice to people. So if you think that you are fighting for Ghana, you're fighting for Ghana to be fixed, are you ready to die for Ghana? I'm not by this saying that it is right to be shot at if you go out there to agitate. No. What I mean is that Shatta is saying, yes, you want things to be done right in Ghana, but don't go and die. Don't just be following people like that. And he also mentioned that some people were using this situation for political gains, for political, if you like, motives. So realizing this, he's advising you, people may even hide behind certain people to come and contract you. Charlie, you just go out there and demonstrate because they have political motives behind all these things. So I agree with Shatta with those few tweets he put out there. But the other ones, you see...
The mass ones.
Yes, like it wasn't necessary to go out there. When he says you can do better, it is almost the same thing as fix the country. Because if you fix the country, you are doing better.
Yeah.
So I don't really get him because most times he says this at this time, says another thing at another time. And that is why people find it difficult to try to believe what he says, because they think, oh, the same person saying this now and saying a different thing at a different time. So I think that as a people, we should accept Shatta Wale as that consistently inconsistent individual who most times wouldn't say things that we want, but a few times makes sense. Because when he did a live video last night I watched, he apologized. And I know he found it very difficult to apologize, but he did. And trying to tell the people at Ejura that it wasn't as though he didn't share in their pain.
Right.
Because I think that initially, the very first thing he should have done was to commiserate with them. Okay, I understand how you feel. It was bad for the security people to do that. But this is what I think. He just went about saying this and that. So if you are somebody who is very close to the families, or you are a family member of the people who lost their lives, you'll be very angry, because why? Why should somebody just come out while we are bereaved?
Exactly.
Why should you
say
come out to
something
do?
so insensitive?
Yes. And so when he came out last night to do a video to apologize, I think it was right. But even in the video, he also took shots at some people like Sadiq.
Yes.
Yes, so that is very, very unfortunate. But I would say that this notwithstanding, we shouldn't also lose sight of the influence they have as celebrities. So this should not deter other celebrities from charting the same path like Amakia Bebrese, Lydia Forsins, and the rest. We should talk about what should be done right for this country. Yes, you mentioned something that you are saying that you want the country to be changed, to be fixed right now. We will die and go, and this country will not be fixed. You see, I think what he sought to say is change is not an event. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Development
a
in
gradual process.
itself is a continuum. So,
Yes.
but are we seeing the progress? That is it. If we see progress, then we can be confident to say that, okay, we know we are making progress.
In 10 years, in 50 years, we'll be in a better place than we are now.
So as for fixing the country, dear, the country needs to be fixed. And that is why we should support these celebrities when they come out to chart this particular path.
But there were some celebrities that chose to be silent, and people became offended to some extent about how slow they were being in putting out their opinions. Chris, I'll come to you on that. But do you think every celebrity it's imperative that they must come out to speak on social issues that bother their fans? Or you must not always attribute such importance to their opinions and thoughts, and sometimes activism should be from the people and not necessarily led by the celebrities?
I actually think Ghanaians take it far sometimes.
Okay.
Especially for the fact that it's almost like they see the celebrities as gods.
Yeah.
It's almost like they expect so much from the celebrities, but we need to understand that celebrities are also humans. But it's important for celebrities to actually speak out when whatever happening affects everybody.
Yeah.
Because whatever is happening, you might be eating 3 square meals in your house and enjoying and having fun, but your fans are out there. So if things affect your fans, you should know that, okay, it affects me in a way.
Yeah.
Because if these fans are not there, who's going to buy your music or who's going to watch your movie? So yes, they are seen as public figures, not God, not Jesus, or not, or not whatever that people see them as. By the end of the day, it's important that they should also think that, okay, this is our country. This is where we live. At the end of the day, whatever affect the fans will affect me. Yeah. So it would be nice to speak out. This is not about they're sharing money somewhere. You understand? This is about lives. People people died. Yeah. And also, if the country is fixed, it will be better for you too.
Absolutely.
So even if you have nothing to say, even if you are against the people that are shouting, fix the country, it would have been nice to at least sympathize with, the people that lost their lives during that fight. It's not even a fight, it's a protest. Yeah.
But what are your thoughts over the week as you saw the situation develop and people voice out their opinions and everything else inclusive?
Well, the truth is, if we are following the trends of whatever is happening in the world, we'll realize that there's a wave of revolution blowing. Like the wind is blowing. Like it will hit everybody somehow. Like we are getting to the point that the African youth is it's not just dormant again. They want to be heard. They want things to change. They want their governments to change. This happened in Nigeria. I mean, this happened in Gambia. This happened in Nigeria. This happened in Senegal. And now it's happening in Ghana. So it's like we are all emulating ourselves. We all believe that, okay, they need to hear us. It's time, you know. Yeah. But at the end of the day, apart from that, I like what Coca said earlier. I mean, we can start small by at least, let's say, talking to our MPs, talking to the people in our areas and stuff like that. Maybe they have tried. We don't know. But it would have been a very good way.
Our people, they like popularity contests.
So maybe they have tried. But, and also, as we can see, it's taken another turn now. It's becoming political because I hear the NDC say they want to go on a rally. So I'm like, now the problem is, if the police can say, okay, now we are giving the permission to the NDC to go protest, the youth of NDC go protest, why didn't they give to the people, like the real activists of Fix the Country? So now, like, it's just becoming a whole mess.
It has. I'm actually curious about that. Like, if the NDC youth wing can go on a demonstration.
Exactly.
Why has Fix the Country, or why has it taken it so long for Fix the Country to be able to do theirs?
They're even in court.
Sometimes I always say it's how we go about things.
But they have been following
a lot of our people think they are so intelligent, but they are very empty in front of what they are saying.
No, but Fix the Country has gone through the
normal process. Exactly.
They've gone through the process.
Yes.
We should be mindful that we want to get our leaders to change, but in the process of that, we are gradually becoming leaders too.
Right.
There is a way we are advocating for change that I think is wrong.
How?
We don't do dialogue. We threaten with our social media. We get you to feel very uncomfortable because I get a chance and I go, okay, so today we went to the IGP and they said this and they said that. I am gradually inciting some people and creating tension already. Now, when you start doing that, who is supposed to give you the permit?
Well,
you get me?
Yes.
When the hand that is supposed to help you to work, you start twisting the hand. We leave the real issues and it becomes petty. We leave the issues. Now they are saying, let's go through the process. Let me tell you, they will go through the court and go to Supreme Court and come back to square zero. But you see, NDC, they are politicians. They know the game. They are not fighting you on the streets. They know where to go through the process. Before they came out, they had gone for the permits, they have done everything, and they were ready. You get me? But we always want to go the Western way of finding solutions.
But we are supposed to find solutions. If it's everyone's constitutional right to be
believe,
able to demonstrate.
I always believe
it should
the
not be a
best
situation
way
where
is dialogue. The best way is put your case
But they are also dialoguing. They are also going for the meetings. They are going to
now
court.
we have the third phase of a certain group of people who claim to be the conveyors of FixThe. So every time new people keep coming, new people keep coming.
No, but you see,
so
the movement has moved,
the communication is not consistent.
But the movement has taken a life on its own, and that's how the not to compare, but sort of how the NSARS movement also came out. It became a faceless campaign led by the people themselves, and that's how Fix the Country is, because people identify with the struggles, people identify with the issues, people identify with the hardship.
I agree.
So they are adamant that they want
I agree,
change.
but I'm saying that in Nigeria, at the point when they were still making the case, the killing was still going on. The chaos was still going on. Then, just like Kwame said, at that point, are you going to tell your neighbor, your sibling, to join or not to join? You get me? This one, we have clearly defined what we want. You went to them, they said this, come back, regroup. But some of our leaders were insulting people, were attacking people, were saying this.
So
when you do that, you change the face, these politicians, the best way always is to play to their gallery and get them to do what you want for you to benefit.
But politicians are elected by the people. It's not the people that are supposed to work for or play to the politicians' tunes. Politicians were put there by their constituents. Their constituents are made up of me and you. So
Exactly.
if the people are agitating for change and have created a campaign and are putting in place ways to demonstrate, and you block them at every turn, it's not for them to now play to you or to cajole you or to beg you.
Nothing has
Because it's
changed.
a
They can
constitutional
join.
right
They
for them
can
to be
join the
able to go out.
NDC campaign.
No,
political.
It is not a partisan
Yeah, exactly.
movement.
It's not a partisan movement. We need to understand something. I like the fact
I
that
am telling you today,
I like the fact
anybody
that you
who
brought,
is living in dead world should come to reality. Fix the country is a political thing.
No,
and
it is not a political thing.
We should have that
It is
insight
not a
about
political
it.
thing.
maybe it's his own thought.
Opinion.
But yeah, your opinions
It
are
is-
allowed.
it
but
is
I
a
like
political
I like
thing.
The fact
It is
that
I
you
don't
not a
think
brought
it's
political
political.
thing.
It's
I
not
think
political. I like the fact that you brought in NSAS to this thing, because
Yeah.
we need to realize that when NSAS is not political. They try to, do what the NDC is doing now. But the voice of the people was even more than those parties.
Exactly.
And you see, what could have been good with this one was, well, I don't want to say all Ghanaians. Most people were very quiet about this whole thing. Even though deep down inside their hearts, they are really like, fix the country. But a lot of people don't want to speak out. A lot of people don't want to lend their voice to it. But deep down inside, they're like, yeah, let's fix the country. But at the back. So if everybody was a bit bold to have said, okay, let's fix the country, because it became like a whole division. Some celebrities were saying, no, you need to fix yourself. You need to fix it, blah, blah, you need to, what. And that was what, really messed the whole thing from the beginning and made it a bit complicated. That's what I think.
No, that
Yeah,
one,
you see-
I agree and I support with you. Today, I'm in a position, I'm supposed to do this road. My kickback is taking away the goodwill to do a good road. Now, because you and you are benefiting, you think whatever I'm doing is right. And that is where we are suffering now. A lot of the people who were quiet happen to be part of the problem. So how did they come and push it?
AJ, I think we should also look at the demonstration. Let's compare this to NSAS. So NSAS protests were geared towards one thing: end SARS. With this Fix the Country, how many times are we going to hold that demonstration? Because if we say fix the country,
Yes.
there are so many things to be fixed.
Right.
Will just one off demonstration push the powers that be to fix the country?
That is an interesting aspect to it, but I think at some point in time they put out their list of demands at some point, but I do believe that the demands need to be narrowed down, and the quickest ones that can be achieved within a relatively short amount of time should be put out,
Because
so
I'm
that
saying
everyone
this
can sort of identify with it.
Because
You
we
just
are in this
scared me.
country. It will not be the first time anybody will be going on a demonstration.
Exactly.
But should we ask or assess the impact that those demonstrations had on whatever cause they were embarking on? Can we do that? Because I can just imagine, just cast your mind back, the many demonstrations we've had, and if these demonstrations have really yielded any results. What I'm saying is that because there are so many things to be done, to be fixed in the country, I'm just wondering if a demonstration today or tomorrow is going to keep the government on its toes to fix the entire country within 5 years, and how regular are we going to have these demonstrations to put them on their toes? Because I'm not sure if you do a demonstration this weekend, next week,
Things will change.
on Fix the Country, within a month, everything will be fixed, or even 1, 2, 3 things will be fixed.
But let's be realistic, they are on their toes. They know.
No, but-
So,
They
but
know
what
they are
Kwame
watching.
is saying-
They know we're watching.
They know.
Yes, but
They
what
know.
Kwame is saying
So,
is
I think we need to rather devise a very
strategy.
effective means of communicating our how do you call it, our plights to the government. Because if we lump everything together and say we are demonstrating for the government to fix the country, we will just gather, go do demonstration, and the country will be as it is, just
And then
like
what?
that. And then what? So what language will the government understand best? Is it demonstration? Isn't it a different means? Should we still continue using social media? Should we have programs on radio, on television, tailored towards this particular cause?
Yeah.
Because the demonstration, we will go, if you don't take care, some tear gas, then things go by, some hot water, then things go by. We're not saying it is right to do that. But at the end of the day, are we going to achieve any results?
Right.
That has been my being on this well.
Well, the truth is, at the end of the day, I think it's time for the concerned youths, people that are the activists, everyone that is really concerned and really love the country. It's time for people to get into politics, young people to get into politics. Let's not always sit back and, be the ones saying, okay, we'll vote for this person to go. And at the end of the day, after voting for all these people, we'll sit down and then ask ourselves, but this person is too old. This person can't do the job. It's time for the youth to also try, to be part of this decision making. And the minute the youths are able to join, then we can start having dialogue.
But the youth are in. A lot of the political appointments you are seeing now, there is a balance. I would say what Kwame is saying, what we need to do, one, have counter measures. So let's say you take Ministry of Finance. They have given you a projection for the year. You also have your counter projections. You submit it, then you're tracking it. Then you're asking questions. So that puts the person on the toe. Water or natural resources, this is what they want to achieve this year. Okay, we also want this thing done, so that let's come to a mutual consensus. This is what we've done. Then you are tracking it. So as they are doing meet the press, you're also doing counter press. Because do you know the fear of government? The fear of government is when bad press goes out, it reduces your economic strength to seek for these things. That is where the fear is. So when you can use a language, I keep saying that we play to what they are good at.
Right.
You say this, I'm not fighting you. But there are timelines. Let's work to it. You will realize people will be careful the things they will say, because they know you can hold them. You can pull documents. You can stand up to it. They are signing contract. You are asking questions about the contract. A lot of these things will change. But because a lot of the youth, party side, we are benefiting, or my father is benefiting, my uncle is benefiting, it becomes so difficult for you to, and you get in, your father tells you, how do you think you got this car? How do you think you got this thing? So we also need, from the word go, have counter. If you don't want to be political, you don't need to be political to be able to put your grievances or your demands. I want the museum fixed. We also think if you give us this amount of money, or you lead us here, we can get the money and we can get it done. That is government. We all need to come together to fix it.
Right.
But when we say, because we have elected somebody into power, Jesus Christ will even come, Ghana will still be the same.
And on that note, well, thank you very much, gentlemen, and my wonderful Chris Carter for joining us for this part of the show. And thank you for tuning in. So we're moving on to the next part, my very, very, very favorite. She has won the Female Vocalist of the Year. She joins us right now on the chat.